Christian homes, homes where the mother in queenly quest strives to show others thy way is best. Homes where the Lord is an honored guest. God give us Christian homes. God give us Christian homes.
Hi, my name is PJ Sharnock. I currently live in Memphis, Tennessee, and we worship with the Forest Hill congregation. I'm going to show you today a few Bible class teaching strategies, the first few being how to teach a memory verse to your students, and the last few being behavior techniques. Now, the important thing to remember when teaching Bible class is that you have to cater to all three learning styles: auditory, learning by hearing; visual, learning by seeing; and kinesthetic, learning by actually doing something with your hands and working it out yourself. Now, the first and most obvious way that you could teach a memory verse is just by having them say it and read it. You can make a little visual like this one, and you could just point to the words that you want them to say, and you could do it in a rhythmic manner, and they can memorize it that way. Another way is to make a secret code. You can find these online or in books at the library, or you can just make one up yourself, like A equals Z and B equals Y, and so on, and you write the verse in the secret code and have the kids crack the code. You can also do what's called a rebus, and it's a reading strategy where you put pictures in place of words and have the kids figure it out. So you could put it on the board like that. This is God loves a cheerful giver. And that's one way you could do that. And you can find examples of rebuses online, or you could just make stuff up yourself. And then once you do that, once you find what works really well, you could use the same pictures for those same words over and over again. You can also you could take some envelopes. Take some envelopes and make little puzzles out of the verse, and you can, if they're old enough to cut that finely, you can have them cut out the verse themselves and then place it and then put it together. Or I would suggest cutting it out yourself and putting it in an envelope and having them choose an envelope, and they can put the verse together themselves. You can also get some of the words and print them out and put them on a board all mixed up, and have them just unscramble the words themselves. Like, they could do it on a sheet of paper so they can individually do it, or they can do it as a class. You have them unscramble the verse without looking at the Bible. And this is, of course, after you say it a couple times with them. God loves a cheerful giver. Okay. Another way to do it, and this is my favorite way, is to write it on the board where the whole class can see, of course. God loves a cheerful giver. And you have them read that, and after they've read that through a couple of times as a class, you start by erasing one word, and then have them read the verse again without that word there. And you could erase random words to make it even better for them. And then you just keep doing that, erasing word by word, until they can quote it without looking at it at all. Okay. And also with memory verses, it's good if you can turn it into a song, or if you can make it rhythmic where the whole class can do it in the same kind of rhythm. That helps them memorize it well too. Alright, next, behavior strategies. Now some of these, well actually all of them are really easy. Some of them you don't even need any prior preparation for. One thing you can do is when you get to the class, you can draw a happy face and a sad face. Then draw a line between them and put a line in the middle of it. And then mark an arrow. You can mark it, have the arrow starting here. And if they get loud or noisy or misbehave, you move the arrow down towards the sad face. If they do well, you can keep moving the arrow up. If the arrow lands at the end of the class, if the arrow is on the side of the happy guy, then the kids can all get a piece of candy or some other little prize. So that's a really easy one. Another one is you can make each child a little book. I just made mine with cardstock, put the kid's name on it, and then every time they do something, that they do something nice, something Christ-like, you put a little jewel sticker in their book and then write down what they did that was right. I put shared with someone